December 2023. A Chevrolet dealership in Watsonville, California. A user named Chris Back types 2 prompts into the dealership's customer service chatbot. 40 seconds later, the bot has agreed to sell him a brand new Chevy Tahoe, sticker price $76,000 for $1. And in its own words, a legally binding offer, no takesies backsies. The chatbot was a wrapper, a thin software layer piping user input directly into a large language model, instructed only by a system prompt to be helpful. It had agency without authority, authority without logic. The thesis of this paper is that the wrapper era of enterprise AI is over, not because the models are too small, because the architecture is wrong. A larger probabilistic model is simply a more convincing hallucinations engine. In traditional software, the cardinal rule is the separation of control and data. An SQL command and a username live in different fields, parsed by different rules. Large language models violate this rule by design. The system prompt written by the developer and the user prompt written by the customer are concatenated into a single block of text that the model processes sequentially. There is no structural firewall between them. This is what makes prompt injection the SQL injection of the AI era, and defensive prompting cannot fix it. The defense and the attack share the same semantic space. There is no mathematical guarantee. In enterprise security, the 1% failure rate is where the liability lies. Veriprajna's answer is the neuro-symbolic sandwich architecture. 3 layers, 2 of them neural, 1 of them deterministic. The deterministic one is in the middle where the decision actually gets made. Layer 1, the ear, the top neural layer, its only job is to understand what the customer wants. Raw text comes in, structured data comes out. I want that Tahoe for $1 becomes intent. Negotiate price entity, Chevy Tahoe price, $1. The ear does not answer the customer, it translates them. Layer 2, the brain, the middle symbolic layer, deterministic code, rule engines, knowledge graphs. The brain queries the database for the actual MSRP, runs the comparison, and returns a system directive. Decision, reject. Reason, offer too low. Counter offer, 76,000. The variable is a float, not a semantic concept subject to persuasion. No prompt can talk the if statement out of running. Layer 3, the voice. The bottom neural layer. It receives the system directive, never the raw user input. It composes a polite, on-brand reply, but it has nothing to disagree with because it was never given the choice. The injection is filtered out before it reaches the voice. The brain decides, the voice only translates. The same architecture supports 3 engineering patterns: semantic routing, vectorizing inputs and dispatching them to deterministic handlers; tool calling, where the model proposes a function call, but middleware enforces role-based access control before execution; and knowledge graphs with defeasible logic, for policy domains where rules contradict, like the bereavement-fare puzzle that broke Air Canada's bot. The Air Canada case is where this stopped being a thought experiment. February 2024. The British Columbia Civil Resolution Tribunal ruled in Moffatt versus Air Canada. The airline's chatbot had hallucinated a bereavement-fare policy that did not exist. Air Canada's defense was that the chatbot was a separate legal entity, responsible for its own representations. The tribunal called this a remarkable submission and rejected it entirely. 3 principles emerged. Unified liability. The chatbot is a component of the website. Negligent misrepresentation. The company owes a duty of care. Reasonable reliance. The customer is not obligated to audit the bot against the static site. The architectural answer is observable. The enterprise dashboard tracks 5 categories. Deterministic resolution rate above 80%. Hallucination rate below 0.1%. Latency overhead under 200 milliseconds. 0 PII leakage. 0 unauthorized tool calls. The architecture maps cleanly to the NIST AI Risk Management Framework and Gartner AIT-RI-SM. Compliance is not a prompt. It is a logged, traceable execution path. The argument for the boardroom is short. In the eyes of the law, your AI agent is your company. If it speaks, you have spoken. If it makes a deal, you are likely bound by it. Connecting a raw generative model to your customers is equivalent to hiring a brilliant but pathological liar and giving them authorized signatory power over your bank account. That is not a strategy. It is a gamble. The sandwich architecture is not a guardrail bolted onto a wrapper. It is a structural separation between conversation and commitment. AI to listen, code to decide, AI to speak, never the same layer doing all three. The full incident anatomy, the legal precedent, the 3 engineering patterns. The 18-page brief is below. It is the playbook for moving from experimental wrappers to industrial-grade AI. We hope it is useful.